Welcome to another episode of the Ethosh podcast. On today's episode, we have with us Jitendra Dahale, who promises exceptional insights into the world of business and operations and digital transformation. He is a luminary whose career has taken him on a journey through the biggest technology companies, handling innovation in companies like Cisco, IBM, SAP, and then he's ended up founding Ethosh Digital. In today's episode, Jitendra shares his secrets on bridging the gaps between operational success and business strategy using customer experiences, digital customer experiences. So, what are we waiting for? Let's delve into the episode. So, Jitendra, I would really like to dive in to the crux to something that I'm extremely curious about. That is customer experience technologies. Now, Ethosh has such a glorious list of clients. There are the most noteworthy clients, that is from Agilent, from Bayer, Siemens Healthineers, Medtronic, Roche. These are like the crowns of the healthcare and life sciences industries, and they are using Ethosh's services to transform their sales, production, their other processes, training. So I want to understand from you as the co-founder that how are you how are you transforming these industries through customer experiences, digital customer experiences?
So definitely, it's very proud journey so far. Around 70 plus top healthcare and pharma companies are our customers. It's been almost 12 years, but of course we started with manufacturing as our focus, and then we soon realized that the real problem exists with all these life sciences companies because they have complex products. They struggle to communicate their products. Their sales team don't have enough tools to really share the product value and the capability to their customers. And that's where we started focusing more on healthcare. And we focused on three main areas. First is innovation. Second is ROI for our customers, and third is ease of business. Because all these companies are always looking for new ideas for to be able to communicate their product. We thought that innovation is going to help them because there are so many different ideas out there, and what will work for what customers, that only can be identified when you speak to them. What is their appetite? What is their interest? So we did that. So we kind of came with a lot of innovative ideas. We presented to all our customers in this specific domain, and then we also focused on creating a value for them. So when I say value means ROI. We really wanted all these customers to get some type of measurable value out of whatever engagement they're going to do with Ethosh. And the third part, which is according to me is global, and everybody, all customers like that, is ease of business. Anybody wants to work with any vendor, they want to first they really look for a way which is very easy for them to work with the vendor. So Ethosh, we started investing a lot in the domain expertise in this specific healthcare and life sciences domain. So we hired doctors, we hired PhDs, we hired microbiologists. So all those people were a part of our team. So because of that, when all these companies started talking to us, it was easier for them to communicate their problems, their challenges, and our domain expertise could understand that, translate that in a way our engineering team could translate that into actual visual communication. So that is how we started producing a value for our customers, and that's the reason we grew very fast. That is the reason we have been working with many of our customers for many years, many years of recurring contracts, a lot of good relationships, and that's where I feel it's been very happy and it's been very successful journey so far.
That's the strength of Ethosh, right?
Yes, that is
The
correct.
customers that you have joined, the customers that you have served, and they are so happy with
Correct.
the service that they have.
Yes.
So I think you founded Ethosh in 2011, right? I want to take you back before it. I want to know your journey of, you worked in big companies from IBM, Oracle, Cisco, and you have your expertise lies in business strategies, in forming commercialization strategies, in helping companies get revenue from channels that were previously untapped. So I want to know your journey and how you came till here, till founding Ethosh. So could you tell us a bit more about that?
Oh, sure. You are kind of asking me a question which is kind of dear to me. Who definitely means who doesn't like to tell their story, right? But I'm going to keep it short. So basically, I'm a computer engineer by education, and I first spent almost first 15 years of my career in technology space. And I worked with at that time I worked with Citibank, Oracle, Cisco, a lot of and IBM, a lot of good experience in the US and in basically in India. But that experience, when I was working on a technology part with all these companies, I always felt that I don't know the full truth. I still not able to understand why am I doing certain parts of the technology development. And that is where I started understanding that I probably need to focus more on really going on a business side. So I took some efforts while working in Cisco. I took some efforts to really learn business architecture. I, of course, was working with my business counterparts. So I kind of understood what are their needs, what are their requirements, and what are the gaps. So I kind of had some level of understanding, but I did not understand their world. So as a part of that process, I thought that, let me learn that whole methodology, not just understanding their world. So I learned whole business architecture methodologies. I even spent some time in understanding about the business strategy development. I spent quite a bit time, and as a part of that, and on the job, took some trainings, and actually on the job also I did a lot of work. And as a part of that, I had an opportunity to implement Cisco's customer operations center in Manila, Philippines.
Wow.
So that I completely architected, did a complete business strategy for that, customer management and customer operations planning for that. So that was a fantastic experience. And at the same time, while working for Cisco, I had established their technology center in Bangalore for enterprise content management. So I had a lot of experience earlier in creating a technology center, as well as now had an experience in creating a business operations center in different countries for a large company like Cisco. So that is where I felt that basically I should start this company like Ethosh, because now I had a good understanding of both tech and biz part of it. Of course, when I started this company, I still had a lot of surprises. I still had to learn a lot. It was not enough whatever I had done before, though it was pretty significant. But over the period of time, after 3 or 4, or I think 5 years of Ethosh, of course, you expand your network. You start meeting other means like other startups. You start meeting other company founders, and that's how I came across one of the company in fintech. And so they had a good product, but they were struggling to really boost their revenue. And their product was more for consumers. It was not for B2B. It was more for B2C. So they just happened to spoke to me, and then we started talking about what would be the kind of the way they could solve this issue. So I took up that as a challenge. I went home and I worked on complete business strategy, that what they could do differently. It was just out of my own passion and my interest. And after a week or so, I went and I said, hey, I have worked out some idea or some options for you. See if you like it. And they really saw what I'd created. So basically, what I'd offered them was to create a scoring metrics for their customers, and then how that scoring metrics can really help their basically business grow faster. So that kind of fit in very well, and that's how they took it, and they started growing their customer very well. So that was one story. I kind of got the confidence that, hey, I can look at some other companies also, not just a company in the technology space. And then incidentally, I also came across someone in a skincare business. And skincare business, they had a pretty good revenue, but they were having challenges in making the company profitable. So their challenge was that to really grow the business, they had to make more investments. So they continued to grow. So the revenue was ballooning, it was growing pretty well, but the profitability was almost null. So their challenge was really to really address that. So again, I worked with them. And see, I have a passion for solving problems creatively. I can see problems very clearly. I spend a lot of time in understanding than really solving. So those are my natural abilities, and that's how I am. So basically, that is where I spend again time in really understanding their customer base and understanding the challenge and the overall financial model, and then of course help them make those model better. Of course, their basic fundamental model had a challenge, so we could fix it. So now they are at least running at 8% of profitability, not a huge, but at least they got some numbers back. And then in the meanwhile, basically there was a phase where I was working for a startup in the US as their strategy officer, and means they are a AI ML based customer intelligence platform offering automated decision making system. It was pretty interesting. So I worked with them for almost 3-4 years as a strategy officer, and expanding their business was their challenge because they were focused on the wrong customer base. They were focused on franchisees, and they were focused on some different type of customers whose problem was not that big to have the AI ML driven customer intelligence platform. So when I joined them, I changed the business strategy. I offered them to move to a larger customer base, which has this specific problem of having a decision making based on customer intelligence and through the automated AI systems, and that worked very well. Now the company is into Series A funding. They are doing fantastic. So a lot of experience I have. I felt that I can offer to the companies because that's my passion. And of course, I didn't know that this is my passion, this is what I like. But as it just journey unfolded, I just started doing those things. And now when I look back, when I ask a question to myself, hey, what am I good at? I always feel that I'm good at business strategies and commercialization, and not only developing the strategy, but translating that strategy into an operational actual plan. Because that's where most of the companies struggle, that they have a good strategy, but they don't know how to translate that into operational plan and then how to execute that. So that is what has been my enjoyable part of my life, and that's how basically Ethosh also is. So I hope I answered your question.
Yes, definitely. Now I think that brings me to another question, that you left all of these things. You left your job in the high paying companies that you were in, and you were doing all of this, and then you transitioned to founding Ethosh. So what was that journey like, and what drove you to make your passion into something that is a big business? Because I'm sure that it must have been a very daunting task. We've also heard from your best friend and your co-founder Rahul that it was a daunting task. So how was it for you?
I don't think it was very difficult for me, to be honest, to make that decision. I was looking for a change. I had done a pretty good job in large corporations, and I felt that this is a time to. And I was in my 40s, so I thought that if I don't try something different now, when I'm going to try that. So I was already thinking about something like that. So me and my co-founders met once, and in that evening I sent a resignation letter to my boss that, hey, I'm not going to be working anymore. And it was a decision like that, because what I believe is if you think too much, it's hard to make decisions. It means on a personal level, maybe it's not the right thing to say for a business strategy point of view, but basically you have to think, you have to make the right decision at the right point of time. So that's what I did, and I just decided to take a plunge. I think we have done pretty well so far.
Wow. I think, so I heard a quote somewhere, I think I read a quote somewhere that said that genius is knowing when to stop. So do you think that that's what you live by? Maybe you didn't consciously live by it, but is that how you've taken the decision? You said it was very quick and you wanted the change, you did it.
Yeah, I think I totally believe that.
Okay.
Means I don't think I'm a genius, so really hard to comment on that part. But then I can definitely say one thing is it's very important to know what are your limits. It's very important to know what really matters to you. I think a lot of people get driven away by a lot of passion, and they achieve a lot of goals, but then they miss out on certain parts of their life. So I think it is important to really have a. That's my again personal opinion, but I believe that it's very important to have to live the life. And life is not about doing only one thing. Life offers you so many different aspects and facets of life which you can enjoy. So that is where, and if you have to enjoy that, you have to prioritize and you have to put limits to everything. Then only you can really scale. So I believe that the time is an essence which people don't understand. I have seen good businessmen also don't really understand the value of time. I think time is very critical. You have to use your time most effectively, and then of course, as I said, it's important to have limits for everything, so that you can really do well in your life and you feel happy at the end of it.
Yeah.
A little bit philosophical, but that's what I live in. That's what I believe in.
Why not? I mean, it is always great to know the philosophy that a leader is living by. I think I want to know now that, so in my understanding, companies always go through periods of, good business, bad business, good business. So I think companies can have periods of high growth, but also they can hit stagnancy. They can hit plateaus where they can't grow more. And if the companies stay in that zone for a long time, there are high chances that the growth starts dipping, right? And you have helped companies to overcome those plateaus to start on another growth trajectory again.
Right.
So how have you done that, and how do you go about doing that?
Okay, so that's not a very easy question to answer, because it's not a black and white answer. See, there are two parts to every business. One is the revenue and the part of the business which is more focused on sales and marketing, and the second part of the business is which is all about operations and delivery. So I always try to distinguish, though they are quite integrated, I always try to distinguish them separately, because they have different objectives. They have their different KPIs. They have their own different ways of working. You just have to make sure that they work in tandem, and that's where most of the successful companies have achieved that. But then you have to look at them separately. That's what I do. So first, for any company, it's always easy to, or comparatively easy, to fix something which is in their hand and which is in the operational part of their work. So it's generally a good idea to invest some time in understanding how the operations are they really running to their full potential? Are their pricing right? Are their performance or the productivity right? So there are a lot of things which can be done at the operational level. And you referred to one of the point is there are a lot of hidden opportunities companies have. So companies, like, there are innovation centers, or there are teams they try a couple of things and then they leave it because there is no way forward for them. But those are all hidden opportunities. Those are all opportunities. Many of them can be really converted into a real revenue opportunity. So I have spent a lot of time. I do spend a lot of time in understanding all these different gaps, and I really want to spend some time in understanding what are the revenue opportunities which are lost by the companies. Can those be brought up? So that is one way of looking at it. Of course, the answer is still bigger. There are a lot more things you can do, but just to say it on a high level, this is what matters. And if you really talk about from the revenue and from the sales point of view, I think companies have. Companies get comfortable. Okay, means when they are doing well, they are comfortable. They are leading, so basically many companies get comfortable. So that's where I think their sales also at times get comfortable. Their sales do not have enough ammunition coming in from their back-end operations to add more value to the customer. So adding value to the customer, making the overall ROI for the customer better. And if sales is really doing that, that's what really needs to be assessed. And of course, many times companies want to expand. They don't have a clarity on how exactly to really expand, whether they should change their geography, whether they have reached their opportunity in that specific region, if they have to add new product, what is the new competition doing. So all these things really matter in restricting the sales. I think those need to be analyzed. So I do all those things. So there is a lot of heads down work. There is a lot of research work which goes in, and then all comes together once you put everything on a map and go with the right planning and the prioritization.
Right. So now I want to turn towards towards the customer experience technologies. I want to understand that in the healthcare and life sciences sectors, which are the touch points in the customer journey, say right from the very beginning of the customer journey, from the need deliberation to post-sale service, where all can we use the digital technologies, and that can benefit the customer journey for the company as well, and for the customers also. It can be made easier, or the customer experience can be better.
See, I think the answer lies in the question itself, because I don't think there is any. See, it's all about the communication. Communication has to be really powerful and easy and effective. And for that to happen, if you put it into a lot of words, people don't really understand that. Or it takes time to really, because a lot of messages lost in translation. So that is where our people interpret things differently. So
but do you think that putting AR, VR, immersive and interactive technologies in places in this journey can help customers better? You think?
Yes, and that's what exactly the point I wanted to get to. That customer journey means there are different customer touch points, and everywhere, every area of that, definitely you can leverage some level of interactive communications. Because interactive means it's also goes on, see, because the newer generation, or even myself also, I'm not a new generation person, but my attention span has reduced significantly.
Yeah.
I don't want to invest a lot of time in looking at something, unless it's a movie. Unless movie also I used to watch for 3 hours, now I can barely watch for 1.5 hours of movie. So attention spans are going down. People want to do multiple things very fast. So considering that, it's good to have something which is relevant to them, and for them, if you give them an option to choose what they want to really look at, I think it makes it more easier for them. Or at least now with new AI part of it, if you can offer them by assessing who is the person, hey, you need to see this, and then that will also work. So that's definitely is the case. I would say about AR VR, AR VR, I would not put it in every step of the customer journey. Maybe the best value AR VR can come in training, internal training, customer training, and also for the product communications. That's where I think I would invest a lot in AR VR. Of course, companies do invest in creating the internal employee training in AR VR, but I think that's not a bad idea. There are other tools which can be equally powerful, interactive tools which can be equally powerful for internal communication, which can be developed faster. And of course, there is a myth, or there is people have some concept that, hey, AR VR is expensive and it takes time. Yes, it was expensive 4 years, 5 years back. But with so many tools out in the market, I don't think it's expensive anymore, and you can develop good AR VR solutions very fast. So I think communication, interactive, every step of the customer journey. AR VR, I would go selective, and you can deploy a lot of other interactive solutions.
You have worked in innovation a lot, right? In your entire journey, you did talk about innovation also, and I want to ask you that from your point of view, how are these technologies, say AR, VR, metaverse, digital twins, AI, ML is there, how are they transforming healthcare and life sciences industries? How are they going to do it going forth also?
So I think I don't have the clear answer to your question, to be honest, because I think people are trying to evaluate what is the best, because the AI can apply everywhere. It can really play a role in every communication space or decision making, or even any activity. But companies are still trying to figure out what's the best way of AI, best way AI can be used to solve their top problems. So I don't have the clear answer, but when I look at from inside out, I'm a part of Ethosh. I'm trying to provide all these AR, VR, and all these interactive solutions. And now we have started our AI service, integrating our all these interactive solutions with AI. When I look from inside out and understand so far all the customers' interaction I have had so far, I believe that AI means making it more precise and making it more dynamic. Actually is a big value which AI can add. Again, I'm talking from the communications point of view. Again, I'm talking from this AR, VR point of view. I think that's where AI can...
I'd like to know more about how the immersive and interactive part of digital technologies is transforming. Is it transforming healthcare life sciences? What do you think? And
oh yes, 100%, 100%. Okay. Rather, 4 years before, AR, VR was hard sell.
Yeah.
We were having difficulty having any customer buy our AR/VR services, though we had built a full-fledged team here. But now I think companies are building their own AR/VR teams. They are investing into creating this integrated AR/VR experiences for their customers and employees. So yes, there is definitely a huge upside on a AR/VR side. I think companies are investing a lot.
What do you think are some business problems that
Yes.
uh,
Okay.
AR, VR, and other digital technologies, interactive immersive experiences, digital customer experiences, are solving for especially the healthcare and life
Healthcare.
sciences sector?
Yes. So
companies?
basically, definitely for the healthcare specialist, the lab specialist, lab technicians, there is a lot of AR, VR, and integrated with AI solutions are coming because which helps them with the guided approach for making the choices if they're in a surgery or if they're in a lab using their lab product. So that's definitely is one of the area we have seen there is a good adoption which is happening. Second area which I have seen is a competitive advantage. A lot of companies are trying to communicate their product value in a very interactive manner based on who's the audience. So that is something which I feel is making a big difference from AI point of view. So these are the two main use cases comes to my mind very quickly. I'm sure there are a lot more happening out there.
Can you give us something from the manufacturing industry, since you said that
Yeah.
manufacturing was the very beginning, right?
Yes.
So
So manufacturing, yes, definitely they are progressing. They have been manufacturing has been the core for all the industries, and they've been there for many years. So they are settled and they have very strong base. So for them to change anything, it takes time. And manufacturing is also very competitive. So their margins are also many times are not as great as any other industry like life sciences. So they are slow in adopting new technologies, but we have seen certain manufacturing industries adopting AI for their employee training. They want to, because their churn is high and they want to train fast.
Right.
And for that, they want to assess what's the ability of this employee, and then based on that, they want to give them the right training. So for that, one of the large auto manufacturer here, they basically kind of deployed AI-based welding training. So I think that's one example I can give you.
Yeah. So now I want to kind of ask you a question about, how you have worked in operations. You have you handle operations here also. So I want to know how you think these technologies are bridging the gap in businesses and companies between business strategies and translating them into operational excellence, operational success, taking the company forward. How is that gap being bridged by these technologies,
So,
if you could tell us?
so you mean again AR, VR, and the communication, interactive communication
Interactive
technologies?
communications.
Okay. Yeah. So it goes back to the same answer, Purva. That as I talk about AR, VR, or the interactive technologies can be helped or can help in every part of the customer journey. It can also help at every part of the employee journey. And it's all about communication. See, because one of the means I mentioned this point earlier, that executives have biggest trouble in translating their strategies into the operational plan, or even communicating that to their fellow or the team under them. And that's where I think these interactive communication technologies can help. In fact, we have worked with one or two medical device companies to help them translate their business strategy into a complete product level integrated communication. So we were working with one of the R&Ds, and we were working with one of the executives heading the R&D. They had a specific vision. So we worked with the R&D head to understand his strategy, communicated or like translated that into something interactive in a visual manner, and how that could help their customers, and then worked with the R&D to make sure that both the ends are met. So that's how we did. It means, in fact, Ethosh has been working with all different departments, including R&D and operations and delivery and even HR, with many of the companies. So I gave you one use case. I think I'm sure I can talk about it more, but there are definitely
I'd like
ways
to know what problems between, say, like you said, the employees can be helped. So I'd like to know what are the problems that generally are faced between these two, and how these technologies can help in solving them. If there are any
Uh,
specifics that are solved by these technologies easily.
um, so you are asking me a specific question about the translating from strategy to the employee, or you're just talking about communication to the
So,
employees?
no, not the communication to the employees. I want to know about how business strategies sometimes get lost while changing into operational success, right? They, like you said, that the business strategy might be on paper really good, but translating it into a reality, making a plan is tough. So, how does the metaverse, how do digital twins, or how do AR, VR, how do these digital customer experiences, maybe web interactive technologies, apps, so how do they come in to bridge this, to make it better for these problems?
Again, means I have not seen anybody use AR VR for translating a business strategy into internal communication. That's what I mentioned earlier.
Okay.
It's more of for the external communication than for trainings, and more solid something. But for business strategy to be communicated to the employees, or translating that, I have seen basically HR using it very effectively. When really HR is talking about performance improvement, HR is talking about productivity improvement. Even they're talking about the business conduct. We have seen that they have used a lot of interactive experience tools. Of course, someone can take it, stretch it forward, create a completely VR experience in creating a complete business conduct scenario into a VR. Of course, I have not seen anybody investing into that so far. But someone can do it. What Ethosh has done is Ethosh has created a role play based interactive experience, which is a basically web based, for managing basically these type of communication problems. And similarly, I have seen in initial days, around 5 or 6 years before, we had worked with one of the VPs to communicate his strategy by creating a complete multiple video podcasts, and then translating those video podcast into a complete series, where and that was also added based on question and answers. So we kind of created a complete interactive. It was not necessarily interactive, but it was interactive from employee point of view. That employees had a way to ask questions. Employees had a way to communicate with their basically VP, and for him it was, he had created these different videos which were based on the different levels of employees. So the communication was easier. So these are the ways we have done before earlier, but HR is one area which we have seen a huge adoption of these even in the past. Did I answer your question?
Yes, okay. I think yes. So now that we are coming toward the end of our interview, of our discussion, I would like to know from you, and I think I would like for our listeners to know from you, that see, Ethosh has now become a company that is equated, that is synonymous with very customized and highly accurate scientific customer experiences. We cater to the healthcare and life sciences industries. So, what are your pieces of advice, or what would you suggest to marketers working in the healthcare and life sciences companies, so that they can embrace digital technologies, they can embrace digital customer experiences to increase operational excellence, to get their message across, to have better communication with their customers? What would you suggest?
Okay. So in a way, what you're asking me is what are the challenges I face when I work with marketeers to sell my business or like my services. So that's how I'm trying to understand your question. See, basically,
I think my question is
that like I understood your question, but the see, basically marketeers. See, I work with a lot of marketeers. Okay, I think I understand their challenges, and the biggest challenge is they have a lot to do, and they have very less time. And that is where I feel that Ethosh can help. Someone like Ethosh or Ethosh can help, because we come with experience. Ethosh comes with experience. Ethosh comes with domain knowledge. Ethosh comes with all the necessary toolkits for them to be successful. So it is all about just reaching out. And it's not, and I'm not necessarily talking about Ethosh. I'm just talking about the world has moved very fast. All these marketeers have been extremely busy. I have many good friends I've made over the period of time across US, Europe, in India, in Singapore. Many marketeers, quite a few of them are very senior in CMO positions. And I see that how much stress they are in creating their brand or taking their product to the market and making their sales successful. So they're very busy with all that stuff, and their heads are down, and they miss out on many times all the good things which are happening out in the world. Marketeers are not technologists, and innovation is really happening in the tech
world. Yes.
Technology space. So I believe that if they just raise a finger and they just give us an opportunity to share, hey, how we can help you from all these new innovative technologies and solutions, that would be enough.
So this is exactly what I was asking, that how exactly do these technologies help the healthcare and life sciences companies, because they have to take a step toward these technologies so that these technologies can help them communicate better with their customers.
Correct.
So what is that step? How do they start? Because I think many times these companies can be apprehensive. Maybe they are not sure if digital customer technologies are for them. Maybe they have not experienced them for their brand yet, for their science yet. So how do they go about that?
Yeah. So I think the best way is to just put a business problem out there, their goal out there, and I'm sure they will get a lot of good ideas from different companies. If they, of course, if they want to invest their time and do their own research and study, of course, that is an option. But simplest way is to really be a little bit more. That is the reason I said that. My experience has been that it's not that they don't want to do. It's just that they are so much, because they have an exhibition after 2 months, and they have to deliver some stuff in 2 months, and they don't have enough time to go and look at the new solutions out there. Many times they don't even know that, hey, if they're going to be doing that exhibition until like 3 months before. So so they have their own challenges. So what I would say is just building some level of trust relationship with certain partners, giving them an opportunity to present some solutions. And I think I can tell you one thing for sure, that technology sounds expensive, but actually over the period of time, it actually reduces the cost. I will give you an example that let's say we were working with one of the large medical device companies, and we built their product communication by using their actual product. And so they presented our whole interactive experience into one of the exhibitions. And after that, basically they wanted to create a sales training. But we already had information about the product. We already had knowledge about the product. We already had domain expertise built into their product. So for us to create their sales training was a kind of very easy job. Then they again then over the period of time, the product changed. The product evolved based on the customer experience or whatever, all those things, customer feedback. So again, they wanted to change the product, but we had all the information. So only the change information was needed by us. We could again quickly turn around fast, and we could provide, because technology gives you that ability.
Yeah.
You don't have to redo everything every time.
Correct.
And once, I think that is what I think probably is one awareness program which Ethosh does at times, but I think that is something will definitely help marketeers.
Yeah.
I think marketeers are very creative people.
Yeah.
Okay, so and so much enjoyable working with marketeers. It's just basically they need to take out some time and start looking at technology part of innovation. Yes, I think that is what I truly I don't know whether I should say this on a podcast, but I truly believe that is their basically blind spot.
Yeah. Okay. So the marketers should try to marry technology and their narratives and the vision that they have.
They don't have to even marry; they just have to know, and there are people who will help them.
Yeah.
So I think that's what it is. They just have to know, hey, this is out there, and even if they don't know, they can reach out to someone like Ethosh, and Ethosh can give them 10 options based on their budget, timelines, and with their expected outcome, whatever. So all those things are possible.
Yeah, I think this is really great, because the way forward for medical device and healthcare companies in terms of getting their communication out there, in terms of building their strategies, in terms of getting to better operations through use of these technologies is, I think, very clear. And Thank you so much for shedding light on all of these things. It was a really great conversation. It was really nice to talk to you. And thank you so much
Oh,
for
thank you.
being on the podcast.
Thank you, Purva, for inviting me and being patient in listening to all my long answers. So
I think they were
thank you very
informative. So,
much.
yes,
Yes.
thank you so much. What an awesome discussion this was. It was a journey through the corridors of digital transformation and business. Now, as we wrap up the episode, you know what to do. If you like the episode, like, share, subscribe, and leave us a review. We would love to know how you like our episode. Also, you know that the discussion doesn't end here, right? Follow us on LinkedIn and let us know what other topics you would like for us to explore. We are eager to know those. And until next time, stay curious, stay inspired, and keep embracing the digital world. I am Purva Barve signing off from the Ethosh podcast.